Welcome back to Normal Baseball. Today we are continuing our 2023 Will Be Team Projection Series. Today we have the San Diego Padres, Los Padres. Let's get into it. What's going on? Welcome back to yet another Normal Baseball 2023 Will Be for the upcoming season, our team projection series. Today we have Today we have the San Diego Padres. A team that might have underperformed last season when it comes to final record. But they did make it to the National League Championship Series. And they got beat by the Phillies. But we'll see what they can do this year. I'm excited to watch this team. This is obviously one of the most exciting teams in baseball. If you are new to our Will Be series and just watching because Padres, which is fair, we did a power ranking of every team in baseball, and we rated them from 1 to 10 in 7 different categories. Lineup, bench, defense, rotation, bullpen, coaching, and energy. And we took those and we added them all together and we ranked them 1 to 30 based on who had the highest score and then who had the lowest score, going in order. And the Padres came out to be our 5th best team in baseball and the 3rd best team in the National League. Let's talk about why that is. That's what we're going to be doing here today.
And would you be shocked to hear that they finished just ahead of the Dodgers? They just beat the Dodgers out in total score.
Total score at the end.
Yeah.
Total score at the end. They did just barely beat out the Dodgers. So, we'll see. And we're going to talk about them. So, are we ready?
Let's jump into it.
Their lineup. Was that you jumping into it?
That was me jumping into it.
Gotcha. Their lineup is rated from us as a 9.4 out of 10. So we gave them a very high rating. This is the highest rating so far yet in these, by a lot too. And this is what their lineup is looking like heading into the season.
And let it be known, we included in our lineup ranking, we also included Fernando Tatis Jr., who will be returning from suspension on April 20th.
Yes. So this is what their lineup looks like without Fernando Tatis Jr.
For opening day.
And then obviously we'll tell you where he will fit in. So their lineup currently for opening day: Xander Bogaerts at shortstop, free agent. They got an 11-year deal, big contract. He's with them for a while. Juan Soto in left field, contract year coming up for Soto. Manny Machado at third base. Jake Cronenworth at first base, Nelson Cruz at DH, Matt Carpenter in right field, Ha-Seong Kim at second base, Trent Grisham in center field, and Austin Nola at catcher. Obviously, once Fernando Tatis comes back on April 20th, he will be playing right field. Yeah, he's been doing that in spring training games, which he's allowed to play in spring training games, and that is definitely where they'll put him this season. So we'll be seeing Fernando Tatis in right field once he is eligible to return from his 80-game suspension, which was kind of a curveball that got thrown out to this team last season. Just kind of out of nowhere, he had this PED suspension. He was coming back from an injury, and just boom, steroids, and everyone was really confused.
Taken back.
I think the general consensus from him, he never said anything otherwise, that it was an accident. He was taking it for the injury, and he didn't realize. He was taking it for a different...
Yeah, so he got into a motorcycle accident during the lockout last offseason. He got into 2, where he, from what has been said, what he has said, obviously, we're not going to, take it and run with it, but he has said that he thought that because of the lockout, he was not allowed to communicate with any team doctors, which is not the case. So he went to the doctors in his native country, I believe, where they prescribed him certain things to not only help heal his injury, but also to get rid of what he claims was some form of head lice, I believe, or something.
No, I think
like
it was ringworm.
Ringworm in his hair. So
I don't know about in his hair.
yeah, because it was either that or cut it off, is I believe what the whole thing was. But he decided to start taking the medicine. He did not know, according to him, that it was indeed a form of steroid and a form of substance that was banned by Major League Baseball. So when he tested positive for it, he did not appeal the suspension, which I think it makes it seem like more of an accident, in my opinion. I think it just, he's like, yeah, I messed up, I'm sorry, I'll take my suspension type of thing, and it kept him out for the rest of the year. However, he will be returning on April 20th, one of the most anticipated returns. It's like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and then maybe not Juan Soto, and then maybe Fernando Tatis Jr. in that order.
Random, but okay. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see him return to this lineup. I think if he could do what he did in 2021, it will be... I think if he can do what he did in 2021, this lineup is going to be 10 times better, and even, dare I say, a 9.8 or 9.9. Like, that is just an incredible lineup if he can return to that stature. But again, hasn't played in a year. So we'll see. We'll see what he could do. I'm very excited. Everyone's very excited to see him back. Fernando Tatis. Can we get an applause for Fernando Tatis Jr.? Looking at the rest of this lineup, we already mentioned they signed Xander Bogaerts to a ginormous contract. A contract in which I like. We all knew Xander was going to be getting a massive contract. Now he's with the Padres for the next 11 years for $280 million they wound up signing him for. It's a good signing. It's a very good signing. He is taking the shortstop job from Fernando Tatis Jr. That's why we said Fernando Tatis Jr. will be playing right field this season.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because last season they were already shopping Fernando Tatis around in the outfield because he was
just moving him around, not shopping him around.
No, you know what I mean. Shopping him around in different positions. But it was almost inevitable that the Padres were going to sign a big name free agent this offseason. They offered Aaron Judge $400 million, but at the end of the day, that's not where Judge wanted to be. So he didn't sign there, and then they were just like, fine, we'll take Bogaerts then. Yeah. Passing around money to everyone.
They also offered, what's his name? Trey Turner, I believe it was $350 million. However, I feel like, again, we talked about it on our Phillies episode and in our shortstop episode, go check them both out, that, Trey Turner's heart was in Philadelphia. That's where he was going the minute offseason opened up.
The minute the offseason, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. But anyway, they wound up signing Xander anyway, so there you go. They did get a big name free agent. I think he will be a big part of this lineup. Juan Soto's an interesting guy. He's going into his last year of arbitration next year. Yep. Yeah, next year is his last year at arb. He's not a free agent.
He's not a free agent this year. He's not a free agent next year.
That's what I just said. He's going into his
year after.
Yes, after this season is his next offseason is his last year of arbitration.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what going into the last year of arbitration. The next offseason. So he's playing for money. He'll just continue to play well. He wants that extension. I'm interested to see if the Padres, if he starts playing like, MVP Soto, if the Padres are just like, take as much money as you want. But, I mean, their team in their front office is dangerous. They know how to get things done. We saw that with the Manny Machado extension, which is another thing that we have to talk about. No. Machado is going to be there. He was going to opt out of his contract anyway after this year. So they said, fine, we'll just add another 5 years to it, give you even more money. So they did. So Machado's there for the next 11 years. I believe the total deal is $280 million?
Something along that line, but not 100% certain.
I believe it's somewhere around those numbers, which just amazing. The guy can be an MVP candidate any season. The guy has the glove. He's got the bat. He's got the personality. He is just all around the guy in San Diego. So I'm glad they did bring him back before the season started so that the Padres didn't have an Aaron Judge situation where, hey, May say Manny Machado had an amazing season. This guy just had an amazing season. He can go wherever he wants and probably get the same amount of money that we're offering him. So let's just offer him it now. An offer he can't refuse, and that's what they did.
He accepted on February 26th of this offseason, he accepted an 11-year, $350 million contract extension, which I believe, if I'm doing my turkey math right in my head, that makes the full deal about a 16-year, $470 million contract.
It's a lot of money. That's all you really need to know.
A lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
And Manny Machado is worth every bit of it.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to talk a little bit more about Manny Machado? I know you love Manny Machado.
I fucking love Manny Machado. He is just an all-around amazing talent, offensively and defensively. I loved him even more when he was that villain in Baltimore. He just fit the role of being a villain so well. And then after going to getting traded to the Dodgers, he turned into this bigger villain where everyone was like, oh, he's just going to re-sign with the Dodgers. Oh, that's so chalk. Oh, my God, the Dodgers pulled it off again. They get a superstar. And he signs in 2019, signed with San Diego. And everyone forgot about all of the bullshit in his past. And they expressed the fact that this guy is an amazing player. And we could not be more happy that he's playing baseball. And that's when that switch got flipped.
That flip got switched.
And everyone just started to love Manny Machado. I've been on it since the get-go. I do have my Baltimore Orioles Machado jersey somewhere, but I just love Manny Machado, man. He's one of the best defenders. Shoulda, coulda, woulda been the MVP last season. Just an
I don't know if
talent.
you're using that term right.
In my opinion, he should have been.
There you go.
He could have been, and he would have been if I had the only vote.
I guess when you put it that way, that's fair. Manny Machado is kind of the heart of this team, along with Fernando Tatis. I think he will be there once he comes back. A lot of people forget how electric this team is going to be, which we'll get into later, but this team has a lot of guys that bring the energy every single day. Nelson Cruz was also another free agent signing they made this offseason. Nelson Cruz last season...
Oh, it's
the Machado deal.
Yeah, it's 15... for 450, not 470. My apologies, my math was just off.
All good. But anyway, back to Nelson Cruz. They signed him for 1 year, $1 million. After last season had a down year, he had 10 home runs with the Nationals, and a lot of it was because of he needed eye surgery. And yes, how are you gonna hitting a baseball is already the hardest thing to do in sports. How are you going to do that if you can't see the ball properly? Yeah. So Nelson Cruz got eye surgery, and hopefully now he'll continue to mash. Because Nelson Cruz definitely still has years left in him if he continues to hit. He's going to be their DH all year. I think we might see him at a couple games at first base. I think that is very well a possibility. I'm excited for him, as well as I'm excited for Matt Carpenter, who is a guy who performed with the Yankees last season seemingly out of nowhere, literally mashed the baseball in 47 games with the Yankees, batted .305 with a .217 WRC+. That is absolutely ridiculous. So if they can get that guy this season, that's dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
That is very, very dangerous.
Deadly.
To have in your lineup, so I like that deal all around. I believe that was a multi-year contract. That was a 2-year, $12 million contract with a player option for next year. So we'll see how Matt Carpenter pans out. I hope he can be the Yankees' Matt Carpenter from last season. Ha-Seong Kim's another guy who he's just kind of there. He's good, but he's just kind of there when you think about it. I don't have too much to say about him.
Yeah.
Trent Grisham's a guy. He had a down year last year. Won a Gold Glove. Or believe he won a Gold Glove. But he had a down year at the plate.
Trent Grisham did win a Gold Glove last season.
Yeah, he's won two in his career now. He had a down year at the plate. He batted .220, or he batted .184. I take that back. Batted .184 in 152 games. But he was on the team the entire year and was on the roster the entire year, which just shows you how much of his glove kind of helped him stay on the team. And it's not like he was horrible, considering he batted .184, a .626 OPS is I guess not as bad as you would think. He did contribute to this team a lot. I'm hoping he can get back on the right foot. Apparently, from what I've heard, he has a new stance that he's been testing out in spring training, and it's been working pretty decently so far. I can read his spring training stats. Like we said, spring training, it does not matter. Let's not take this out of control. But he is batting .250 in spring training with an almost 800 OPS. So take that as you will.
Yeah, and let it be known that he kind of turned it on for the postseason last season with the Padres in the offseason. In the postseason, he had 40 at-bats for 8 hits, which brings him to a 200 average, which was above his average in the regular season. Yes, barely.
I wouldn't call that turning it on.
He did have 3 homers and 5 RBIs, which I believe most of his offensive power came from the wild card series, but certainly helped him advance past a very, very good Mets team.
Fair. I wouldn't exactly say that's him turning it on.
Better than his regular
But that's still
season.
Not Trent Grisham. That's still not Trent Grisham.
Just you wait.
That's not his. What do you mean, just you wait? Are you trying to tell me that Trent Grisham's going to hit 200 and that was him turning it on?
Sir, you don't understand the Trent Grisham MVP campaign.
Gotcha. Okay. So, he also has a mustache. He's rocking a mustache like Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So, that automatically makes you better. And then you got Austin Nola at the bottom of this lineup as catcher. He's been actually really good. He's been a solid catcher. He's been a solid piece of their team for a while now. So, I am excited to watch him this season.
Agreed.
Do we want to move over to their bench?
Please
Their
do.
lineup is amazing. We all know that. We gave it a 9.4. Their bench, we gave a 6.4. It is a good bench. We now learn that Rougned Odor is at Padres camp. He's on their 95-man roster. Seemingly, what it feels like. It just feels like they have everyone. Their bench is looking like Luis Campunsano. I don't know exactly how to say it. I apologize. Rougned Odor, like I said, who is a non-roster invitee, but Fangraphs currently has him projected to make that opening day roster. Jose Azocar, Adam Engel. So, good options on the bench. Nothing, like, incredible, which is why we did give it a little lower, like 6.4. So, nothing incredible. It is a little higher up when you look at some of the lower teams down there, but for this team, it's a good bench. It's a good bench to have.
Yeah, for sure.
When you look at the age of guys, how is Rougned Odor 29?
It feels like forever ago.
He's 40. He's 40. He's 40 in my head. He's 39 in my head, rather.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Rougned Odor is the man who never ages, except he ages
somehow.
His body ages, but his age in years does not.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Someone out there knows what I'm trying to say.
My question is, how do you know what all of his body looks like and how it ages?
His face.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go.
Do you have anything to say about their bench?
No, it's
a bench.
Very chalk bench. I believe, if I had to guess, one of these guys is probably going to get cut when Tatis is ready to be activated again. So
not necessarily.
Well, they need to make room on the roster for him.
Yeah, they can get rid of a reliever.
Okay,
anyway.
Moving on.
Anyway. So, moving over to their defense, we gave their defense a 7.3 out of 10. Justifiably so. I mean, you look at Manny Machado, great defender.
Hassan Kim. Oh, excuse me.
Hassan Kim, very good defender. Trent Grisham, like we just said, won a Gold Glove. Austin Nola is certainly not a horrible catcher.
Xander Bogaerts.
Xander Bogaerts is a good defender. He's nothing like elite, I'd say, but he's a good defender.
Good defender.
Juan Soto is not a great defender. That's what kind of brings this down. Along with Matt Carpenter, who also isn't an amazing defender.
True.
So a couple people do bring this down just a little bit. I do want to take a look at Austin Nola's defensive stats really quick, just because I don't want to be saying that he's not a bad defensive catcher, because I don't fully know. So I just want to check to make sure. Last season with the Padres, he's nothing great. He's nothing special. That's what I'll say. So that's what kind of makes our 7.3. It's very much carried by Xander Bogaerts, Manny Machado, Ha-Seong Kim, and Trent Grisham. And even Jake Cronenworth, depending on how you look at it.
Fair enough.
So that's my thoughts on their defense.
All right.
You got any more thoughts on their defense or no?
No, I think it's all pretty summed up. Go Padres.
Okay. Their rotation, moving on to the pitching side of the ball, we gave a 7.6 out of 10. Right now, their rotation, we did this with Joe Musgrove on the current rotation.
Which he will be come like the second week of the season, probably.
I don't know about the second week. He'll be back at some point in the early season, but he does have a fractured toe as of February 27th, which was before we made these rankings, and we can't change them once we make them.
Yeah, they gotta stay.
Their rotation is looking like Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, Michael Wacha, Nick Martinez, and Seth Lugo. My only real question mark is Seth Lugo. You think of Seth Lugo more as a reliever, so I'm interested to see if he actually does wind up starting a lot of games, if any.
They definitely can stretch him out and might stretch him out to start games, depending on especially where Joe Musgrove is. So we're gonna have to see what's going on with Joe Musgrove, but Seth Lugo definitely could be a guy that starts.
Yeah, I do want to focus on the top of their rotation as well. Yu Darvish had a kind of underrated year last year.
Very.
He was a dominant pitcher when you look at pretty much every aspect. ERA-wise last year, he had a 3.10, 3.10 ERA, which is fantastic. He pitched in 30 starts, almost 200 innings. Just everything looked really good for Yu Darvish last year, which is good for the Padres, considering the first year they had him, he wasn't great. He had a 4.22 ERA in 2021. So to have that big of a step up in the second year is just a good thing.
Yeah, definitely a step in the right direction. I do believe that we're going to see, especially now that Darvish got extended, we're going to see some of both him and Snell's best pitching. I'm also excited to see how Michael Wacha performs. They acquired him via free agency this offseason, and I think that he's going to be a very underrated piece to this starting rotation come the later part of the season, especially because Michael Wacha is just, he's good. He's good, and I'm excited to watch him. There's no other way for me to say
good.
He is good.
He's good. Last year, with the Red Sox, he did have a, pretty, good year. What was the word? Underrated. I don't know why that word was kind of, bouncing out of my head. He was injured for a little bit, but he pitched in 23 games and had a 3.32 ERA. Pitched really good. I'm interested to see him moving over to the National League, which is somewhere that he pitched for the first 6 years of his career, 7 years of his career, with the Cardinals. So I'm interested to see him come back over to the National League. Yeah. Michael Wacha. Let's give Michael Wacha a round of applause.
Fozzie Bear's Michael Wacha.
Oh, I like it. Waka. Moving on to their bullpen, which is also a key part of this team, as many teams. We gave it an 8.4 out of 10. Good bullpen.
This bullpen proved to be locked down, especially in the postseason last year. And now that everyone's here and ready to go, it's going to be even more entertaining to watch them.
Yeah, Hader got too much hate last season. Yes, he was bad in the middle-ish of the season when he got traded and a little bit after. But he really stepped up. He became lights out. He's Josh Hader. He's not just going to forget how to pitch one day. He will continue to be lights out.
Real.
Robert Suarez is a really good reliever. He proved to be.
One hell of a story from him, too.
Good righty. What's his story?
Of him coming, he had no opportunity to play professional ball in the MLB, so he went overseas, bounced around in a couple of leagues, found himself in Japan, where he had one of his best seasons, and then was signed to a contract to the Padres, where then he became, up until a eighth inning appearance by Bryce Harper in the box, was becoming one of the most shutdown relievers in the postseason up until that point. And to be fair, let it be known, it was a good idea for Robert Suarez to be left in that game as a righty on versus a lefty. The whole season leading up to that at bat, he had not let up a single hit to a lefty batter in relief appearances. So, just that's a case of
Really?
Yes. They were talking about it on the broadcast. That's how I know. Like right before Bryce Harper went yard, they were talking about it on the broadcast. Robert Suarez, though, honestly, a great story. Really, really, really good piece to have to back up or be around Josh Hader. It's just going to be a lot of fun to watch him pitch this season again.
I find that hard to believe.
I know, I did too.
Against a left-handed batter all season.
Yes.
I can tell you that's not true.
The only home run that he let up all season.
Oh, home run. That's true. My bad. I heard you wrong. I heard you say home run, but then I guess I registered it as hit, and I was like, that's just not possible. Home run,
maybe
yeah, no,
I
that's
did say
true.
hit. I meant home run. Home run.
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
He only gave up 4 home runs in total last season. In a total of how many innings? 47 and 2/3 innings. He only gave up 4 home runs, only 12 earned runs total. Robert Suarez, don't sleep on him. Don't sleep on this Padres bullpen. Drew Pomeranz is another guy who was kind of brushed off later, a couple of years ago, which felt like later in his career. They picked him up and kind of got him from the Brewers. And the Brewers kind of helped turn him around, and they helped turn him around. Still a good part of this bullpen. Tim Hill's another guy who I have some faith in for this season. I think he's going to be good. I'm just excited for this bullpen. This is a lights-out kind of electric bullpen, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And my favorite thing is the electric bullpen, the guy who can just come in, and once he comes in, you're like, well, we lost. Well, the score is not changing this inning. Like, stuff like that, and I think this bullpen has a lot of those guys. So 8.4 is very good for this.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Looking forward to seeing how dominant they become this season.
This will be my favorite category in this entire thing. Coaching. We gave them a 7.2 out of 10. Headed by 3-time Manager of the Year, Bob Melvin. Get the pin. Bob Melvin, the 3-time Manager of the Year.
Go ahead and display it.
How do you deny 3-time Manager of the Year, Bob Melvin?
Bob Melvin.
You don't. He's just amazing. And we love Bob Melvin. We are very proud of the way he's run this organization, or rather run this lineup and this pitching staff in the last couple of years. We think he has made a lot of right decisions. He knows what he's doing, and yeah, that's kind of what the big equates to.
All in all, God save Bob Melvin.
I agree. I'm gonna come over here. All right, do you want to read the next stat category?
Yeah. So for the final stat category, we gave the. You okay?
Yeah.
We gave their energy, which is the last stat category, a 9.8 out of 10. Very easily the highest throughout this whole list. Spoiler alert. But very well deserved. Manny Machado will scream in your face. Xander Bogaerts is going to be a lot of fun. Juan Soto and the Soto Shuffle. He says that he's been practicing to keep it shorter so he doesn't get a fucking pitch clock violation. Amazing. Matt Carpenter and Hassan Kim, I feel like they're both going to just be silent killers. And Trent Grisham is a lot of fun when he's playing well. So that's where we get it from the offensive side. As for the pitching side, Blake Snell will scream in your face. Michael Wacha.
What's your favorite thing to say?
Because he will. Like it's the easiest way to sum up somebody's energy. Like Blake Snell is the type of guy to be very silent throughout the entire inning. The second he strikes out the side, he'll let out that giant scream of like relief, anger, and like excitement. Yu Darvish, he does the most casual little fist pumps, and that shit gets me so fucking excited. I don't know why, but the Yu Darvish fist pumps are just amazing.
Ear checks for Joe Musgrove. Electric.
And let's not forget, if you ever want to understand why we gave their energy rating such a high rating, go ahead and just do me a favor. Go to youtube.com after you're done watching this episode.
.com. Nice specify.
Type in Josh Hader 9th inning versus Los Angeles Dodgers 2022 and just watch the whole inning. And watch the second that final pitch is thrown. Holy shit. You would think they just stepped into the Lions.
They're an electric team. We've known this for a long time, and headed by Tatis.
Oh yeah, who's
in 2021. This team just kind of was the most electric team in baseball. I'm excited to see what they can do this season. What are you doing?
Sure, my neck feels tight. I'm trying to stretch it.
Okay. But yeah. So if you were counting along with us, now we will say, we gave them a total score of 56.1 out of the total 70 possible. And like Lewis said at the beginning of the episode, just barely came in front of the Dodgers, who were at 55.9. This team came in at 56.1, so just 0.2 ahead of them. They were the 5th best team in baseball, according to us, and the 3rd best team in the National League, according to us. So, Lewis, do you want to give us a rookie report for this team?
Of course. So, the rookie report would have been a lot easier had it not been the Padres going out and, in the biggest trade of all time in baseball history, getting Juan Soto from the Nationals. However, the prospect that I do want to highlight, and I will apologize if I do pronounce it wrong, I do have the pronunciation up here from Baseball Reference, Eggy Rosario. He is ranked, oh my god, he's ranked somewhere. Oh no, wait. My website crashed again. Hang on.
Do we want to move on?
No. We're looking at the 8th ranked prospect in the Padres organization. Now, mind you, that is after selling off a few guys from last season. However, Eggy is, I believe, again, how you pronounce it. He played 7 games at the major league level last season, where he batted 200 with a 533 OPS, and he looked okay in AAA. I mean, he looked absolutely amazing. He batted 288 with an 876 OPS and had only 109 strikeouts to 59 walks, almost 60, with 22 homers and 81 RBIs, 34 doubles, and 21 steals. The guy seems completely 5-tool. I don't really know, 4-tool. The only thing that I'm unsure about is his defense, but if this is a guy who can steal 20 bases and can hit 20-plus bombs and can keep his average up, I have a good feeling that he will be able to produce one way or another at the major league level if he's given the chance, which hopefully will be this season at some point.
Yeah, I like to hear it. Eggy. If that's how you pronounce it, Eggy.
It's Eguy, but
Eggy.
The pronunciation on Baseball Reference has it Egggy.
Okay, that's fair. All right, well, that's fun. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate it. Now we will say MVP, pitcher, and hitter for this team.
Fucking hitter first.
We are doing pitcher first for the top 10s. MVP pitcher for this team. Who you got?
Josh Hader.
I'm gonna give it to you, Darvish, again. Might as well continue to get better.
Okay.
Just kind of prove everyone wrong that your prime of your career can be later. So that's what I'll say. MVP hitter, who you got?
You're really going to ask me this? Manny fucking Machado.
Okay, I'm not going Manny Machado. I'm going Juan Soto. I'm in a pickle. I'll go Juan Soto. I want to pick Fernando Tatis.
No, you can't. You picked Juan Soto.
No, I know. I want to pick Fernando Tatis Jr.
But you didn't.
Let me explain my fucking reasoning before I come over there and beat your ass. I wanted to pick Fernando Tatis Jr. Okay, you didn't seem too amused by that. Okay. I wanted to pick Fernando Tatis Jr., but he hasn't played in a year. I just think it's not right, and I'm honestly a very big Juan Soto fan, so I have to root for Juan Soto.
Yeah, it's hard not to be. It'll be fun to watch. It'll be fun to see what comes out of this Padres lineup. They should produce a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Round of applause for production.
All right, let's go.
All right, well, now I will say the 2023 Padres will be, and you tell me what place in the NL West they will be in. There's only one option left at this point. Lewis, The 2023 San Diego Padres will be in
first place in the NL West.
I happen to agree. First place in the NL West seems like the spot for them this season. Hit the Dodgers while they're down. Take advantage. Have some fun while doing it. If you're going to have that much star power in a lineup, you might as well come in first in the division. So, do it.
I guess they have to come in first.
Yeah.
Let's go Padres.
Let's go Padres. If you're still watching or listening, we thank you and we love you. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.